Welcome to the OFX podcast. I'm Dave Claxton, and not with me, as always, is Bethany McChesney. However, I do have a special guest that I've been really looking forward to talking to. She is multi-time world champ strongwoman Erin Murray, and I have to introduce her now because I don't do it when we talk. So here we go, Erin Murray. So yeah, so you got all the medals. Like so, we had a bunch, and then we downsized. Um, where were they all from? Because I mean, you're technically speaking like three-time world strongwoman champion for four,
Those are those ones up there on the top shelf.
and their weight group, right though, like under 73 or under 82 or something like that.
Yeah, so I've got two of each. So I'm the only that's my claim to fame. I'm the only person in the sport that has world strongest titles in multiple weight classes. So I've done it twice in the 82 kilo class and twice in the 73 kilo class.
I'm kind of a neophyte with it. Like I'll be honest. I mean, I watched Strongman on TV like
Mm.
back in whenever the 90s when it would be on
Yeah,
just
like world strongest man. Yeah, everyone knows
random
world
times
strongest
on
man.
TV.
Mhm.
But I think we first saw you, and correct me if I'm wrong, was it Rogue Invitational?
I was there. I was the alternate, so I was like there, but almost,
Okay.
which is kind of cool. So I got to like be there and experience it and like be one of the athletes, but I was like almost able to compete.
What was that one like though? Because that was like you're mixed up with the CrossFitters, right?
Yeah, and that was cool. Like, first of all, it was cool to like see them in person because you see them like on TV, but you can't really get a sense of like body types as much on TV as you do like in person.
Hmm.
So like that was my first thought, like seeing everyone like, whoa, these are like vastly different body types between sports. Um, so it was cool to see, like, and just in general, like the CrossFit culture is so crazy to me. Like I remember being at the hotel one of the mornings and there were some of the CrossFit athletes sitting and eating breakfast super early and they made some comment about like, all right, I'm gonna go get a quick run in before we head over. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're gonna go get a quick run in before competing all day. Like it's just such a different mindset.
It I was just impressed with that event because before we've watched CrossFit competitions quite a
Mhm.
bit, but before there would be such these huge long gaps in
Mm.
between where it was just nothing. And then when they put the strong competitor stuff with it, it just blended so perfectly, and it made us want to watch more. Like my wife has become a big fan.
Cool.
She
And like
loves.
that was like one of the coolest things for our sport is getting to have it at the same event with CrossFit because obviously that's such a huge like audience and crowd that's invested in CrossFit, but just getting like to be on that stage and get that attention was awesome. And you're right, like no one wants to like sit and just like wait for the next event to start.
No, it's too long.
Might as well watch something cool.
It's much cooler to watch you guys throw heavy stuff around.
And it's cool because they've started like incorporating some strongman events into the CrossFit events.
I think it bleeds over like that melody, right? Like, so if you bring in the strong melody and the cross melody, it works so well with it.
Mhm.
Medley, sorry, medley.
I knew what you were saying.
Yeah, yeah. She's always here to help me. She's melody, yeah, melody, medley. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, same
Words
thing.
are hard.
Tomato, tomato.
Yeah. No, so I was thinking, so I wrapped off some quick rapid fire stuff. So, because
Mhm.
we just spoke briefly, and I guess and I'm going to explain first why I wanted to interview. So, no, I'll do that beforehand. This is Erin Murray. She's really strong.
I have some
Lift,
medals.
lifts heavy things. Where's war
And
paint? I don't. What's with the war paint?
oh, the war paint. You want to get into that? 'Cause that's
Yes.
a cool backstory. So I guess I'm kind of known in the sport now for doing like crazy makeup when I compete. I actually started doing that. Coincidentally, it was my first world title. It was my first time at our worlds, and I used to get so nervous. I still kind of do, but like my entire childhood, I got horrible stage fright. Like I used to have to take beta blockers for like presentations and stuff. It was bad. And so that bled into strongman. And I would always get so nervous, especially that first event. And I would always underperform on the first event because I was just so jittery. And my coach at the time and I had this idea of blending my love for like art and makeup and like creating a new persona. And it kind of allowed me to separate and be like, okay, well, like Erin can be nervous and that's fine, but I put on the makeup and like it's a way for me to embody being someone else. And then it's just kind of like a reminder throughout the day. Like every time I see myself, like my reflection or something, it's like a reminder. I'm like, oh, like, no, like this version of me has got this.
You're like literally bordering on professional wrestling.
Kind of. And like,
By the
it,
way, maybe a good future goal for you.
I think it'd be awesome because
Yeah.
like I think part of like strongman that a lot of people miss, like as the sport has grown and gotten like more regulated and standardized and serious, is the fact that like the whole point of the sport is to be fun to watch.
Mhm.
Like the whole point is to be a spectacle and entertaining. And I think embracing that as athletes is a important part of pushing the sport forward.
When you go back to the anxiety, I would think like strongman would. And by the way, do we call it strongman? Do we call it strongwoman? What do we call it?
Strongman. I
Strongman?
don't think
That's
anyone
cool.
really gets offended by that. It's
Yeah,
fine.
the world is tough. Things are hard. Um,
It's just what everyone's used to calling it. So,
yeah. But with strongman, like unlike a lot of other sports, you are alone out there for
mhm.
a lot of events, right? It is purely center of attention, right? Like it's a max lift, it's a this, it's that. There's a lot of you guys going each individually
Mhm.
at the
Yeah,
different.
especially as
So
the shows get bigger.
yeah, so the you could see that that anxiety straight on for you can't hide. There's
Yeah.
nowhere to blend into the crowd or anything like that. Do, is that something that like a lot of I know that in our world, a lot of elite athletes will talk to you about start line anxiety.
Mm.
No matter how fast they are, how good they are, a lot of them are just like, I'm ready to puke. You
Yeah.
know, is that common for you as well? Like in strongman or
Different. I know that's really common. I feel like probably half the high level athletes I talk to get that like nausea, pukey, nerves. I've never really gotten that. I get really like jittery, like I'll like shake, which is not great for when you're doing like technical movements. Um, but I guess I have gotten to a point where most of my anxiety and stress happens in the lead up to the event. So like the last few weeks of training, kind of that week leading up. And now it's kind of cool in the last couple of years of high level competing. I get to the start, like the actual start of the contest, and it's just kind of a sense of calm. It's like that's the easy part. Like
yeah.
training is hard. Like the competition, we only have to do everything once. And there's kind of, I don't know, a sense of calm and like I've done this so many times that it feels natural. Um, I felt the anxiety that I used to feel a lot before this ATHX event, though. I think because it was a new thing.
And that's what got me. So just I was invited to officiate at ATHX maybe a month and a half out. It was not very far. And they sent me a list of the elite athletes, the invite athletes that were coming, and I came across your name and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Because the rest, and I'll be honest, the rest, like I know, right? A lot of, especially from the hybrid world, I know like Tara and Lauren Rentala, very good friends and stuff like that. Cole, Learn, again, good friend and stuff like that. So we know them. I'm meeting some of the CrossFitters for the first time and stuff like that. But your name stood out, and I was like, immediately I messaged. I'm like, you're the one I'm excited to come to see
Well,
because
thank you.
you're the one stepping out of your zone, right? So
Mhm.
so I can see. So the post I think I liked the best you did was the one with Daniel Brandon doing the toast to bar. And it's just
Mhm.
like I'm in a lot of trouble, and I'm
Yeah.
like, so what kind of possessed you to say yes to go to this?
I mean, first of all, why not?
Yeah,
Like, it's a cool opportunity. There's no pressure
no.
to win or like not lose or like there's literally no pressure. Um, Part of one of my personal goals this year is was to kind of branch out and try new things. I've been doing strongman for so long and it's still like my priority. Like I'm still gonna train and compete in strongman, but I'm kind of been like missing other elements of fitness and I feel like there's kind of some glaring holes in just me as an athlete that I was like, okay, I want to push myself outside and like try some new things. I had actually originally considered doing a high rocks this year.
Yep.
Um, and then I don't know if you know Snorri. I work with him. He's like my manager and he helps me with navigating all of this. And he was like, you know what? Like this actually looks like it might be a little bit more in line for you. So it's like it's challenging you to do something else, but there's also the strength component. So there's like somewhere that you can shine. And I looked into it. And I'm like, oh yeah, that looks way cooler.
Well, High Rocks is still pretty cool. High Rocks is a lot of
It
fun.
is cool. But
But
for
yeah,
me and like my current level of ability, this was a little bit more
yes.
like
Yeah,
manageable.
you were running like 2 to 3K at this as opposed to 8K
Yeah.
at a High Rocks. And from our personal experience at High Rocks, like your strength would, I'm sure, kick in on the sleds.
Mhm.
But aside from that, it's pretty
That's
much
about it.
cardio. It's pretty cardio the rest of the way. Which, I mean, your cardio is not bad.
It's really pretty good for a strength athlete,
Yeah, yeah.
but compared to CrossFitters, it's a
Yes.
different world.
Yes. And then the High Rocksers aren't even a whole, I mean, as you probably saw
Yeah.
with Cole Learn out there,
Yeah.
like just the level of, because he was a former CrossFitter. Now he's focused completely on High Rocks and his engine has become unreal. And then competing directly with Tara and Camilla
Mhm. Oh
and
yeah. So
so
impressive.
uh,
Especially in that endurance event, like they're all just like everyone was just off. And I'm just like, all right. Bye guys.
were you at all nervous? Like I imagine starting out with the strength might have been a bit of an ease break, but to ease into it for you. And I actually got to watch right across. So I was right across from you. I was judging Tola and got to watch you go and um you put in some good lifts. Now, how would those lifts range for you kind of normally?
Oh, they're so low.
I thought they might be.
And which was it's cool. Like it's cool to win the event on like a worst case scenario day, but like all weekend people were coming up and like, "Oh my God, were those PRs?" And I'm like,
No.
"No, not even close." Like those are numbers that I would normally hit for like double digits. Um, but the training for like it gave me such a new like respect for hybrid athletes and how difficult it is to balance and manage all the different elements of fitness because I mean everything kind of came together so last minute. I had like kind of a month's notice
Yeah.
on this, but I really like completely switched my training and it was already off season, so my strength wasn't like peaked anyways. But 4 months of really focusing on conditioning, like my strength went in the gutter.
It's so much time management too, right? Because if you're
Yeah.
if you're putting in hours of training your cardio, that's less time you physically have, and your body
Mhm.
takes such a beating, especially with running,
Yes.
that it's so hard to recover from to get strength training in. It is like you say, it's a real balancing act to do it.
And even also just stuff like body weight management, like there's so much of that stuff that's harder to do at a heavier body weight, but then
Mhm.
losing weight makes it hard to hold on to strength. Like my body weight is down about 30 pounds since December, when I competed, and like it's a pretty significant drop for lifting, but my running feels a lot better. So finding like that balance too with nutrition and weight management, it's like a lot of fun challenges.
All right, so let's go through your run at ATHX just real quick. Okay, so you get out there, you get on the strength. First thing, like we said, we do the strength, 1 rep max, shoulder to overhead.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna guess going into this, your idea was and at least this would have been my idea if I was you. My strategy would have been win this section without going too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's
So
a lot more things to do.
a lot more things to do. But
Yeah.
did you have an idea what you would have to lift to do it?
Kind of like I looked at the overall leaderboard going into this and kind of what numbers people were hitting and what I felt like I was fairly comfortable with on any given day. So for each lift, I kind of hit like two attempts, like a worst case scenario attempt to make sure, like just to get on the board and then jump for kind of my goal attempt for the day. So yeah, I hit exactly the numbers that I was planning on hitting, except for the shoulder press, I didn't get quite as much as I was hoping for, but I'm also not surprised because I'm coming off of a shoulder injury.
Oh,
So,
okay. So, and I got your numbers here. So we
oh
got
yeah.
70 kg on the 1 rep shoulder.
Mhm.
So that's not too bad. Then your back squat. What was the strategy for that one? Did you, because so when I was with Tola, he was doing an interesting where he would just go and he just would do 1 rep and put the weight
Mhm.
back. up it, one rep, put the weight back up at one rep. And then he finally found a spot where he wanted to do his three. He did his three and he was done.
Mm.
How did you go about yours?
So I did two sets of three in that time frame. So we had the half hour to warm up.
Yeah.
Um, Warm up areas are always kind of tricky. Like you don't always.
I'm going to say that warm up area was less than stellar and
It was hard.
not up to ATHX usually thing. I think because they were cramped for space and on the beach. That's one of the things I noticed compared to videos I've watched from overseas. So I think that warm
Well,
up
it's good to
area,
know, like compared to
yeah,
other, 'cause that was kind of a bummer. Like there wasn't
yeah.
enough weight for me to warm
No,
up the way that
no,
I would
no.
normally want to warm
Yeah.
up. Which I've learned to expect that from like
Mhm.
strongman, and sometimes you get great warm up areas, and sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
So for every lift, I had a first attempt where I was like, okay, I know I can hit this even if I can't warm up to it. So that's what I did first. It was like kilos in a women's bar, so all my numbers kind of got messed up from what I
It
had
was hard
planned.
to judge, I'll tell you that.
But I think my first triple on squat, I hit 319, I think is the pounds.
Okay, it
The
sounds
plan
about
was
right.
315, so whatever the kilo conversion to that. And so that was like, I know that I can hit that even without an ideal warm up. So I did that first, felt okay, and then I jumped for the
One
155 kilo.
155 kilo, which
Yeah,
what is that? That's got to be three.
341, I think.
All right. And then off to the deadlift. And
Same
what
strategy there.
yes, no deadlift or squat. What's normally your better? Because normally someone's got a favorite of the two.
So I personally prefer squats. I feel like if I trained them both equally, I would be a better squatter, but we so rarely get to squat in strongman. It's not a very common event. So just by nature of the sport, I'm forced to train deadlift more, but it is not the more natural movement for me.
Yeah. So you're in a buck 85 there, 185 kilos,
Mm.
which again is going to be 400 something,
Yeah, 407.
407. Yeah.
Which like it feels like I don't want to be that person that's like that's disappointing. It's fine. It's what I kind of planned to hit for this day, but like for reference, my last deadlift for rep event was last summer and I hit 450 for 11.
Yeah.
So
That's
like for like reference, like a 407 is it was good. It was what I planned on for the day based on how my body was feeling at that time. Um, but that's a pretty low weight for me.
so you came out there, you got your what it was, I think it was a 10 12 minute rest.
Yeah.
And again, the rest area, not what it should be. They are better at most places. And I think if you hit another ATHX where it's indoors, because this was an invitational outside, it was more about getting cool pictures on the beach than anything. I think
Yeah.
when you do one indoors, it'll be a much more elaborate and much better recovery area. So
I
we're
was
going to
curious about that because I kind of tried to
yeah,
do my research and looked up how like the layout and stuff, and then it was nothing like I was expecting. But also challenges of setting up an outdoor event
yeah, yeah.
is,
And I mean, it was originally the run was supposed to be on treadmills too.
oh really? I would have liked that so much more
Yeah, it was supposed to be on like assault runners.
because that's what I trained on for the most part.
Yeah. And well, and assault runners do favor a power runner.
Yes,
Right?
it's
Like,
way harder to run like for real.
so we get ready. You're onto the start line in the endurance. Any thoughts in your head, or you're just like, okay, what happens now?
You know what? I'm kind of bummed because I was actually excited about that event. My
Hmm.
training had been going really well. Like I knew I was going to lose it, but from a personal goal standpoint, I was like, you know what? This is actually going great in training. My last few sessions went awesome. I was like, worst case scenario, I might not be fast, but I can run the whole thing and I can row pretty well. And I don't know if it was the heat. Like that's my best guess. Like I train in Seattle. Like it's cold here still.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect it to affect me that much, but I can't think of what else would have gone that drastically wrong that I couldn't make it.
Again, it's a different surface to run on.
Yeah.
Things change. Yeah. Running on the beach, even though it was not on sand. I mean, you're still on the beach, and it is hot, and it is that. It's so there's a lot of different variables that could account for it. I mean, so you ended up with where are we at here? 3.648.
hmm
So not too bad.
which is fine. I was bummed because that's actually exactly 3.6 was how far I had made it on my 18-minute trial run.
Okay.
So I had done that. I was like, you know what? I'll be good for at least 4 kilometers, probably a little bit extra. And so I'm not bummed that I lost because I expected that. I'm
Yeah.
bummed because I had a goal in my head that I thought was going to be very achievable. And I had to walk so much. It was a tough event.
But it seems to have spurred you on now. I've seen your posts about improving your mile time now.
Yep, so now I'm running every day. I don't like to be bad at things.
So that one you knew what to expect.
Hmm.
And things not quite according to plan, but still pretty good. Then you had another 30-minute rest, and then you're into the Metcon. Had you simmed this Metcon?
Had I what?
Had you simmed it? Had you done a sim?
Yep. And it went, I shouldn't say horribly. I had run through it all once. I had a second run through, I guess my first run through was kind of modified. So we like pulled
Mhm.
back on some of the reps and some of the weights just to kind of get a feel for it. So I had kind of like 1.5 run throughs, and they both like wrecked me. Like I had a full meltdown afterwards. Like this that weird like nervous system response with like hard conditioning. I was just like crying and freaking out. I
Not
almost
that
didn't do
weird.
it
It happens
anymore.
a lot.
And which I've heard now is very common.
Yeah. It's
Um,
actually most common when you watch like an ultra run.
oh yeah, I have seen
Or
that a lot.
dude, having like I did a 20 couple of 24-hour races and
Yeah.
you're emotional at the end. I
Yep.
was real tough and didn't cry, but I was pretty emotional. It's like,
No,
geez.
I cried a lot. Um, so in my last one, my last run through, like it hit me hard. Like I pushed really hard. I had like a full meltdown, and then for like 24 hours, like I couldn't temperature regulate. Like I had to get an IV the next day because I was having like hot and cold flashes and like splitting headaches. I'm like my body was just not on board with that. And I think that's what made me the most nervous about going into the event because I was like, that's how I felt after running the Metcon, not after having done the first two events. And it kind of made me panic a little bit. I'm like, like what if I physically like can't do this? And I think that's what made me the most nervous going in.
I think, well, so when you say you physically can't do it, because I mean, obviously you're going to be able to lift the stuff that's there, even though, like, I mean, it's a somewhat heavy sandbag. The lunges were a lot, I
Yeah.
found for people. Um, what part of it made you think like this might stop me?
I think it was less that I felt like I couldn't get through the Metcon because all of that is stuff that you
Yeah.
can will your body to keep doing. It's not
Mhm.
like a deadlift where you get to a point where you
You can't lift
can't
it.
pick it up anymore.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really a concern so much with not being able to finish it. It was like, how is my body going to respond to it? And like kind of panicking over like, am I going to be okay? Because I felt really not okay for like 2 or 3 days after doing it last time.
What is it?
Um,
It's like a CNS kind of thing?
yeah,
Yeah.
like I got really like sick and like achy. Like I felt like I had the flu.
Mhm.
Um, And so in my head, I was like, I'm supposed to like get up the next morning and go back to the beach and like help with stuff. I'm like, if I feel like this, I'm not going to be able to do that. And then I just started like spiraling about like, I'm not going to be able to come back home and get back to training. And like, it was more the aftermath of it that I was kind of worried about.
So you're going through the competition, you get out there, you get started, and near the finish, you had a lot of support.
Yes.
Was that so some people love that.
Mhm.
Some people don't love that.
I I do really like it. It's very strongman. Like that's how strongman is too.
Yeah.
Like if you finish an event, like for the most part, everyone will stay out there and cheer on whoever's like struggling to finish. And
Mhm.
I love that energy. Um, for me, it was more like after the fact where I was like, oh, I was like fighting for my life, and you guys had been done for like 10 minutes and felt fine by that point. So it's after the fact is like a little bit of like an ego crush, but in the moment, I think I would have really struggled to finish that if everyone had just left the field and
Yeah.
I was out there by myself. Like that would have been really hard to finish.
So what do you and this is a question that comes up all the time, and I like to ask a lot of people this. So I mean, obviously you're branching out, you're doing a bunch of different stuff, and you come from a bunch of different stuff too. You had a martial arts background too, didn't you?
Very, very briefly.
Very
So it was
briefly. Okay.
like the thing that started the snowball. I think I probably did that for like 4 months, and then I kind of just like kept trying things until I found one that I loved and stuck with.
Right. So you're branching out and doing some different stuff. Um, what, and this, I'll be honest, I get in a debate with CrossFitters about this all the time.
Yeah.
What do you view is fitness, and what is currently the best test of fitness that you can see?
Ooh, just the term fitness and like being
Yes.
fit, like
And that's the problem, right? Because CrossFit
it's
has
hard.
their definition of fitness, but their definition of fitness includes some mid-level skill gymnastics and handstand walking and things like that.
Yeah, which that's
My
not really
personal one does
fitness,
not.
that's skill. That's like skill work.
That's what I think. So that's why I like to ask other people, like what your kind of broad scope definition of fitness is and what you would think is the best test. And even if it's something not going right now, what you think would be the best test.
That's really hard
I know.
to
That's what I
actually
do.
answer. Because there's so many different aspects of fitness. I think CrossFit kind of had the right idea in how they went about it and like testing so many different
Mhm.
elements in one competition. I would agree that like the gymnastics work to me isn't fitness, that's a skill.
Yeah.
So there's parts of CrossFit that for me don't necessarily fit into the criteria of fitness. Um, something like high rocks, I think there's a lot of like kind of strength
I
components
don't think there's enough strength in
from
there
it. Like
to
I think like ATHX is doing a really cool thing and trying to blend
yeah.
all the elements of fitness. I think that's probably the closest right
I
now to like well-rounded fitness, but that's a tough question.
I think athletics is pretty good too. The one thing I would think that they're missing is a longer endurance piece.
Yeah. And
You
that's
know,
hard to incorporate
yeah,
into a spectator-friendly event.
yeah, because it's boring as shit.
Yeah.
Oh. What's that? Yes, 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 yes. All it has to be is over 2 minutes for endurance.
I don't
We
know,
had
that 20-minute event felt like endurance to me.
a um
I think there is a difference between fitness and like athletic ability.
athleticism. Yeah, exactly. I think CrossFit might test the best athlete,
Yeah, I could see that.
you know. But again, I think I think they have the capability to host an event to test for the best fitness. But just with
Mm.
the games when they're putting in paddle boarding and whatever else they can come up with weird stuff and different movements and open swims and double crossovers and
Yeah,
that it it's I don't want to call it party tricks. It's just so high skill that
a little
it's
bit though, because
a
like
little party tricky.
is whether or not you can do a double under really an indication of how fit you are, or just like how much you've practiced that skill.
Yeah, I think honestly a little more modification to the open combined with the quarterfinals might actually be one of the better tests
Yeah.
if added a few things and took away a few things. But all right, I got a couple of rapid fire questions for
Yeah.
you. Ready?
Yep.
This is and you should feel honored because I usually don't prepare shit.
Oh, I'm touched.
All right, are ready? Here we
Yep.
go. Run or bike?
Bike.
Bike, there you go. Barbell or dumbbells?
Ooh, barbell.
Really, I'm a dumbbell guy. That's me. Pizzas or burgers?
Pizza. Yeah.
Well
There's
done.
so many
Well
more
done.
options with pizza too.
Yes. Um, oh, okay, we're stopping here. What kind of pizza? And does pineapple go on it?
Yes. My go-to
Oh, you were
my
doing so
go-to
well.
is pepperoni and pineapple.
Pepperoni pineapple. All right, all right.
Yep. Is that score me points or lose me points?
That's a losing point.
All right, I'll take it.
I don't say pineapple's not, doesn't make it not a pizza. It's just not my thing.
All right,
It's
that's
too
all right.
sweet. I don't like sweet stuff.
That's all right.
All right, all right. Atlas or medley?
Medley.
Um, who's your favorite current strong woman?
Ooh,
Erin Murray.
No, you
that's
can't say that.
hard. I can't say myself.
That's our favorite strong woman now. You can't say that. You got to go. You.
I don't really know because they've all just become my friends, and I can't pick a favorite friend. That's just kind of
All right. We'll pivot that one. We'll pivot
you.
that one. Who's strong woman that you look up to? Past, present, future, not future, I guess, past or present.
Donna Moore.
Donna Moore. Okay. All right.
Her
Um,
longevity is just she's been around so long and
yeah, she does a lot of the commentary and stuff now too, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Who would you like to see pivot and get into strongwoman?
Ooh. And going straight to like who like the strongest CrossFitters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Like a lot of people throw out Danny Spiegel as someone to try that.
Hannah.
Oh, Hannah Black?
Hannah Black, yeah.
Yeah, she is
Like
pretty
especially
powerful.
after seeing her in person and like her build, like she has a frame that could be pretty sturdy.
There you
I
go.
would love to see her do some strongman.
All right, what about on the guy side?
I'll admit I don't know the guys as
Yeah,
well.
that's right. They're not as entertaining.
I like to watch the ladies more.
You know what struck me as odd as I've met a lot of the higher level CrossFitters is, and you mentioned this before, just seeing them in the person, the different body types and stuff is the guys are smaller than I thought, and
Hmm.
the women are bigger.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
guess I
like
have such a skewed perception of like strong women and like
yeah,
my like skewed perception of what like a large
everybody's
human
small.
is very different. Like I'm small. Like in the
Well, yeah,
world of strongman, I'm very small.
yeah, you would be like I always thought of you in, and they might even be bigger than you, like Melissa Peacock and Sam
Mhm.
Beliveau, and in
Yep,
that
we're
kind
all
of
really the
range.
same weight class.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. We got to root for them. They're Canadian, so you know.
Fair.
Um, all right. What would you like to try next? Like, what's next on the agenda? Or because now we see you running, right? So if you're running here and doing this, it's not to help your strong woman career.
No.
So
Um,
what are we thinking next?
so I do have I do have like strongman competitions coming up this year that I kind of have to pivot and focus on. So that's kind of I have two kind of big shows this year. Uh, I do really want another go at ATHX because I feel like it's something that I could be good at with more prep time.
Mhm.
You know, you can only do so much with like 3 weeks of
Yeah.
training. Like real adaptations don't
You're
happen
just looking to survive at that point.
in 3 weeks. Yeah. Um, so I would love to take a stab at it with actually like time, which is kind of in part why, like one of the reasons why I want to start running more. Because I'm like, if that opportunity does come up again, I want
It
to be a
will.
little bit more prepared.
It will.
Yeah. Because I think I can, I'm never going to win it, but I think I could do quite a bit better.
Yeah. So, and you mentioned High Rocks. Are you going to give one of those a try one day?
I might at some point. I
Yeah.
think just looking at my schedule this year, it would be hard to fit in, but you know, as I slowly accumulate miles, 'cause I think that's the biggest thing was like rushing to prep for this was so hard on my body. Like, and I couldn't sustain like that level of training. But I think it's something that if I slowly started to incorporate those things in like a year or two, I could jump into something like that. I mean, that would be cool to do.
It's fun to do. And I mean, it is such a hot craze right now.
Yeah.
Like it's so popular. I'll be honest. We were like early adapters and on kind of day
Mhm.
one. I think it was our third episode. We had the woman who created the event basically designed the course and everything. So
Oh,
we
cool.
had her on like our third episode. That was what 2021, I think.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like early stages.
Yeah, yeah, we were in there in the beginning. Um,
I feel like it's kind of become like the new 5K because it's very accessible. Like there's not a whole lot of crazy skills that people
no.
can't figure out and like jump in and do. So there's no like huge barriers to entry for people. Um, like it's like kind of an all skill and fitness level type event, which is really cool.
Have you seen the Xenom thing coming out?
No, I haven't. That sounds familiar though, actually. I don't
It's
know
it,
why.
it's like a CrossFit. They're calling it the decathlon of fitness, which I will continually say no, the
Hmm.
decathlon is the decathlon of fitness. But anyway, um, so it's like 10 different little CrossFit workouts over 2 days.
Oh, cool.
It
But
is
it's
pretty.
CrossFit affiliated?
It is. They do use CrossFit supports it. I don't think it's completely conjoined, but CrossFit does support it. They're allowed to use the word
Interesting.
CrossFit,
Huh. Do
kind
you
of
know
like
what
that.
the events are? Are they the same every time or does it rotate?
No, it's going to be the same every time. I will try to look it up quickly, but I know, for example,
I'm intrigued because
some of them are.
actually for the last couple of years, I actually like probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, I seriously considered a switch to CrossFit.
Oh yeah.
Um, just because I like the well-roundedness. There's parts of like those elements of fitness that I just feel better. And then I kind of realized that I was probably a bit too old to take that on in a way that I could compete at a level that I would be happy with.
Well, training for
Like I'm not
strongman.
gonna do it unless I feel like I can make it to the game someday.
Yeah, I got you. I get so, but training for strongman's got to be hard on the body too. Like I know to me, CrossFit, and I look at it as parts of it are, but if you were to do like game style training, I don't find that as a sustainable level, like style of training fitness as you get older. Like I'm 50 now,
Yeah.
and I can still do stuff, even though I'm not a
Mhm.
CrossFitter, I can still do it, but I'm kind of lucky. A lot of people my age are not able to kind of stay, whereas something like a High Rocks or even ATHX is or Deca, that's another one that you could give it a shot one day, but again, even less strength.
I need some sort of strength.
Yeah, yeah. So
Easy training.
I find they're less stable. Anyway, I'm going to show you. I'm going to share the screen,
Okay.
and I got the Xenom thing here. All right, here we are. So day one, event one, 1 rep match snatch over 9 minutes.
Oh, I don't. Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Do you see it?
9 minutes? Oh, 1 rep max. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, interesting.
4 attempts, 1 attempt every 90 seconds.
Huh.
All right, so that's barbell
Cool.
snatch. Next one is it's a Metcon and ascending ladder of AMRAP. So 2 wall walks, 1 rope climb, 4 wall walks, 2 rope climbs, 6 wall walks, 3 rope climbs.
Hmm.
How's your rope climbs?
Yeah. Never done one.
No? Oh, wow. That'll be
Feel like I could learn though. I feel like I'm strong enough to do one. I just have to learn how to do it.
all right. Here's one that is short but horrible. 60 seconds
Oh my
max
God, that
pals on
makes
an
me want
aqua
to
bike.
that makes me want to throw up just looking at it.
Yeah, yeah. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Event four, barbell cycling. So 12 deadlifts, 9 front squats, 6 shouldered overhead, 3 thrusters for 5-minute AMRAP.
Oh, I
Uh,
like that one. What are the
weight
weights?
is 48 kilograms.
Okay,
So
that's not bad.
lightweight.
That's a lot of reps, but
Yeah, yeah.
I like it.
So this will be the last one for the day five, and is a 3K run followed by a 2K echo ski.
Ugh,
Yeah, you think that bike
don't
was that
don't
60
love
second
that
bike
one.
was a they have yet to release event six. Nobody knows why.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. It slipped their mind. Um, seven, 3 rounds of 15 toes to bar, 15 dual dumbbell hang snatch into 10 bar muscle ups, and then afterwards a max ring muscle up for 7 minutes.
That wouldn't be tough.
Yeah, yeah, I'm out on that.
That's the gymnastics skill work.
Yeah, but I get the way it's set up though, I think like that one there, if you can't do a bar muscle up, obviously you're out. But ring muscle ups at the end, a lot of people might not even get there.
Yeah.
All right. Here looks like a cardio engine machine. You'll hate this. 30 burpees over the line. 30 or 24 cal echo ski, 24 cal echo bike, 30 burpees over the line, 24 cal bike, 24 cal ski, AMRAP burpees the rest of the time for 12 minutes.
Well, the silver lining for me is that there would be no more remaining time. I would be done with burpees.
Heavy clean ladder. This might be your cup of tea. 10 cleans at 75, 8 cleans at 80, 6 cleans at 85, 4 cleans at 90, 2 cleans at 95, 1 clean at 100.
Hmm, I like that. That one's
I
cool.
would I would get through none of that.
That's tough for event 9, though.
Yeah, second 9 and then yeah. Okay, and then the last one, 16 minute AMRAP. That's a long AMRAP. 6 handstand push-ups, 8 chest to bar, and 12 double dumbbell lunges.
Hmm,
Or sorry, 12, yeah, double dumbbell lunges. So the weight for the lunges are 235-pound dumbbells.
okay. Hey, so the same as we just did.
Yeah, yeah. Doesn't really say where you have to hold them, but it looks like she's doing behind the head. So I'm gonna guess it's
Hmm.
probably in the rack position. So that is Xenom.
That's a cool sport. My only gripe, though, is there really still isn't a strength event. I've noticed that like especially like in CrossFit or like other kind of events and sports that I've talked about, they like Olympic lifting to me is not a strength event.
Thank you.
That's another skill event.
Yes.
And so like I wish there was like a max deadlift or like something that's truly static strength.
Hmm.
I feel like that's missing. Because
Yep.
even like the heavy cleans, like that's not a strength event to me.
No, because like I get frustrated, and I'll tell you straight, I suck with a barbell. I'm
Yeah.
terrible. But like when I look at and I'll often do myself well, I'll compare myself to like the CrossFit women, right? The elite or more elite CrossFit women. And the dumbbells, no problem. All that stuff, the bodyweight movements, no problem. Put the barbell in front of me, and it's like I'm a freaking child. I just don't got it. I
Don't
don't
have the
I
skill work. Yeah.
yeah, I'm just low on the skill with that barbell and it just I'd rather the dumbbells or a heavy sandbag, great, cool.
Yeah.
Just
That'd be cool.
yeah.
Like a max sandbag to shoulder or
Did you see what ATHX had in part of their stuff last year?
it ended, the Metcon ended with sandbag to shoulder, didn't it?
Yeah, but it was like five sandbag to shoulders with the heavy sandbag as opposed to one walk with it, which I would have liked that.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I would have liked
That's a
that.
cool like pick your own adventure.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. It also had weighted pull-ups.
Oh, I hate that.
Oh no, I like that. That's my jam.
I would hate that because my body weight's so much heavier than the rest of
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it's
I
hard.
already have enough weight.
I'm a pretty stocky dude and carry some good weight for my size, but
Mm,
I trained obstacle course racing so much and I
yeah.
competed in Ninja Warrior. So
Oh, so you've got that
so
down.
those things worked for me. I'm disproportionately strong that way.
Hey,
I'm, you know,
well, I'm personally glad that that was not an event this
yeah.
year.
So I'm gonna work on it again. But you know what else? So there's ones I would like in there, but there's one I would love, but it's also the bane of my existence and frustrates the hell out of me, is
Mm.
weighted dips.
Oh yeah.
I
I haven't
love
done
to
it in
do
ages.
them,
Yeah.
but the way I see them done in competition right now just drives me insane.
What about it?
Well, they do like that elbow hinge thing where they just lean forward and the weight barely
Oh
moves,
yeah.
and it
Yeah.
just pisses me off.
That's it should be weighted like around
Yes.
shoulders.
Yeah,
Then
exactly. So
that's a
like
weighted dip.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I do them as you're supposed to do them.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
What
plus it looks cooler with like chains around your neck. Like
that actually looks very cool. I have
that looks
never
way cooler too.
I'm gonna do that next week. Get the chain picture up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta.
What are you pet peeves for fitness? Pet peeves mostly on social media for fitness. What drives you nuts?
I don't know. I can't really think of much. I mean, and there's just the kind of the general, like everyone's a coach nowadays.
Mm,
Um,
that's
There's
really popular in High Rocks.
good and bad with that, but I feel like someone does one competition and all of a sudden they're quitting their job and starting a coaching business and
Or none.
or that, yeah. Um, so I think, I mean, of all the good and bad that social media is, I think that that's it makes it hard to weed out what's good advice and what's just flashy advice.
And you are a strength coach, correct?
Yep.
So what's your advice in finding a good coach?
Um, find out like get background information, like what their education is, what certification they have. I think like I feel like certifications used to mean something, and now like anyone can get a certification online like overnight just by paying for it. So understanding like the different certifications and what was required to get it, ask about like what athletes they've worked with or like, kind of their resume with who they've worked with and what type of athlete they have experience with. Um, for athletes, this is not necessarily important if you're just like a general fitness, but I personally always want to have a coach who has competed in some capacity themselves so that they understand that piece of the puzzle, are probably the four important ones for me.
And what do you normally coach? Do you just do strength or do you general fitness or what's your coaching repertoire?
So currently, I mostly get people reaching out because they want to either compete in some sort of strength sport or get stronger, just kind of by nature of what I do. But my early days of coaching, I worked at a club when we had like an extreme weight loss program. So I started there, and I actually really miss that. I love that kind of like lifestyle change client. I don't get to do as much of it anymore, just, by nature of who I am as an athlete. I attract a certain type of client. But
I
it's
think
kind of like the two extremes. I love working with people and getting stronger, and I actually really love working with like extreme weight loss type clients.
I think actually that might be one of the most important coaching times to be because
Hmm.
people can get led down the wrong road so easily in the beginning and get the wrong information and the wrong goals, the wrong expectations, and the wrong methods. It's where they can pick up some really bad and unhealthy habits.
Hmm.
That's why I think
Yeah.
that's really good to see people at like yourself at a higher level who still help,
Yeah. And I love
when
that.
people
Like I
starting their
look
fitness
at
journey.
Yeah, I remember my one of my most memorable like client stories is I remember working with a lady for a while and she sent me a Christmas card and in her card she wrote she was like so excited because she was finally able to Superman bench press her kids and like they loved that and like that was all they did like all Christmas break is they wanted their mom to Superman bench press them and that like changed her life that she could play with her kids and like that's the PR that sticks in my head more than like any deadlift PR that I've coached someone for.
For me, it's seeing someone get their first really good push up.
That's so cool.
Like just, you know what I mean? Like not,
Yeah,
like that really, really like proper, like beautiful, beautiful plank out of it, nice and steady, straight up, no, full range of motion. That to me is just, it just is like,
that's a beautiful day.
yep. You get the approving nod, that one where it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, you got
Yeah,
it.
because like I feel like those like I love both. I love coaching people to compete and do well and like seeing the excitement of competition, but there's just something different about coaching someone in a way that genuinely improves their quality of life. Like that's a different
Yeah.
type of coaching. It's a different type of feel good.
When you think about it, I mean, it's far more important, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, all right, all right. See, the art department. She's the art department. She makes all of our art and thumbnails and
Oh
stuff.
yeah?
So what do you got?
Tell me that being able to tie her shoes was the most freeing moment.
There you go. Could you hear that?
Being able to
I heard something about tying shoes.
She said that being able to finally tie her shoes was the most freeing moment. She had a client
That's
say that.
huge. That's
Like,
so cool.
yeah,
Like, so you
that
don't
is,
think about like I feel like when you're fit, sometimes you don't think about the small things throughout people's days that just make life harder.
yeah.
And being part of reversing that is cool.
So we had, we do a lot of work with DECA, which is
Mhm.
called DECA Fit. So DECA is another hybrid event, and they do gym events. And basically, I'll lay it out quickly for you, but they have other ones where there's running in between the stations. But the 7 zones, you've got 30 reverse lunges, 500-meter on a rower, 20 box overs, 25 med ball sit-ups, 500 meters on a ski, 100-meter farmer carry, 25 cal on an assault bike,
Hmm.
20 dead ball over the shoulders, 100 meters with a magnetic resistance tank sled, and then 5 ram burpees, which are essentially devil presses.
Oh,
All right.
gross.
Yeah. So, but again, it's not super heavyweight, but
Yeah.
it's a burner. Now they also
Mhm.
do it where you have that's they call it the strong. Then
Mm.
you have the mile, which you do 160 meters of running between each zone, and then the fit, where you do 500 meters of running between each zone.
So how long of a race is that typically? Like what's a good time?
Oh, so like an elite time at which one? With the running?
Yeah.
So with the running, the elites men would be that 28:30 to say 32-ish.
Oh, that's quick.
Elite women are going to be in that say 32-ish to 36.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah. So I mean, actually, the record holder for women is Lauren Weeks, who also holds the record for high rocks, who we also think would do very well at ethics.
Yeah,
Um,
should get her in. I
yeah,
was
yeah,
thinking it sounds kind of high
it is.
roxy.
It
I
is.
was trying
They're
to like,
kind of, yeah, yeah, yeah. So this one we do, so that we do the ones in the gyms, in local gyms. Um, and we had a girl do it, and she's a good friend of ours, Nicole. And she went out in her first one, and it took her in the neighborhood of, I'm thinking, Rye was about 40 minutes, 39, 40 minutes.
Mhm.
And she's gotten to the point now where she's doing the mile one with 160 meters in between, wearing a 20-pound backpack quicker than she
Oh,
did that one. And the last time
Cool.
she raced in just the regular one, I remember I was judging her.
Mhm.
And when you judge in DECA, you're almost a cheerleader more than anything too. Like you're
Oh
doing.
yeah.
And I remember telling her when she was pulling the magnetic resistance sled, just like, well, we're not just finishing anymore. You're competing now. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And
Yeah.
she's gone from someone who was just doing all she could to get through it to now
Mhm.
someone who is competing.
That's so
And
cool.
that's a cool. She actually just did recently. They have another one they call the Deca Fit Ultra, which is five of the fits back to back. So you're
Okay.
so and she just did that wearing the 20-pound
Wow.
backpack.
Was that her goal from the beginning?
To do that one? No, that it's
Or
kind of
just like to compete and be competitive?
yeah, I think no, I think her goal in the beginning was just to become healthy and fitter and this was an outlet.
Yeah.
And that's what I think a lot of these races can be, right? I think ATHX
Mhm.
and High Rocks have done the same for a lot of people, have become this outlet to become healthier.
Yeah.
Um, which I think
I
is
think
really
that's cool, like seeing that switch between someone who like just starts to feel better and be healthy, and then somewhere along that line getting the bug of like, oh, like maybe I want to do this a little more. Like
yeah.
that's such a cool like transition to be a part of.
Yeah, we're very lucky. We get to see it a lot. Now, I'm not a full-time coach, but we do coach at a gym that hosts events called Farm Girl Fitness.
I love it.
And the predominantly the clientele is it's women. It's not only women, despite the title, but but
What? No judgment.
yeah, but it
But
is predominantly women who are generally a little newer on their fitness journeys, and so many of them have gone from we're just want to get a little healthier to now, what was my time? What am I doing? And then I think we had eight of them go out to world championships for age group
really,
divisions when they
that's
went
so
together.
cool.
So much fun.
I
So
love that.
yeah,
Because like fitness is supposed to be fun, and I feel like so many people start like because they have to be healthy, and then I feel like that transition to wanting to be competitive is also a transition to like changing that outlook. Like it's no longer a chore, but like a fun challenge.
yeah.
And that's how it should be. Like it should be fun.
And you know what? I don't want to take up too much more of your time. So I think that's the perfect way to call it.
Okay.
And I just want to say thank you so much. And again, you did not disappoint. I was super excited to see you do ATHX and you didn't disappoint. It was exactly what I was hoping
Thank you.
for. And I can promise you there will be another chance.
Perfect. I'm
All right.
excited for it.
Oh, do you have any sponsors or anything, anybody you want to shout out or anything like that?
Yeah, I've got two. I don't know if you saw me smelling salts in the strength stage. I was probably the only one there using smelling salts, but
I did
Zone
not, but I should try that someday because that looks like it'll knock me out. I mean,
Triumph. So Zone smelling salts, they've got the best stuff in the game. I use them exclusively. And then Mutant, I've got them right here for all of my supplements. Both great companies, great people. I use both of them throughout the day that day. So.
all right. Take care, everyone.
All right.